Drake Maye was the third overall pick and the third quarterback off the board in the 2024 NFL Draft. Maye was a quarterback prospect with plenty of skepticism from evaluators, including me. I was still in on Maye. I, just like many other people, had concerns. Then you ask, how did Maye get drafted third overall then? Well, his traits are what can lure you in. Drake's got a huge arm, great athleticism for his size, and his size itself was something that separated him from the other quarterbacks in this class. When people talk about him as a passer, there was a lot of questions about his inconsistent accuracy, some of his decisions, and some of his processing issues in general. New England was starting quarterback Jacoby Brissett for the first 5 weeks of the season, but the Patriots decided to start Drake Maye headed into week 6 after the offense got real stagnant. Drake Maye in his first NFL start threw for 243 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a pair of interceptions. Maye completed 20 of 33 pass attempts while getting pressured on 47.6% of his dropbacks, which was the 4th highest rate. A pretty solid game on paper for a rookie's first start in the National Football League. We just talked about some of the stats, but what does the tape tell us? We'll start on a good note with the good plays first, and I thought there was quite a few good plays. Drake has the ability to get the ball out and put it on a line. I mean, he can fire it to virtually anywhere while keeping the throwing motion pretty casual. On the left side of this formation, there is a smash concept being ran. Once Drake Maye scans it out and can diagnose, he doesn't like it and moves off of it pretty quick, and you can tell he's just trying to play a little bit more safe. Then his eyes move across the board from left to right until he finds Pop Douglas with open space, and then the throw from a closed pocket to put it on a rope outside and give his guy room. The earlier you get the ball into your receiver's hands, the more time he has to create after the catch, and he does it from a closed pocket, and again, the arm just stands out in the way that he could put it on a line outside, not to mention the process he had here on this rep. Some flashes and throws Drake made are going to translate as soon as his next game and the one after that, etc. The first thing I noticed looking at this defensive look is the single high safety and him playing so far on Drake Maye's left side. They obviously trusted Derek Stingley enough to be on an island with a receiver, so there's no need once Drake snaps this ball to even look off the safety or do anything elaborative to manipulate the defense, and he just sends it long on the 9 route and puts up a perfect football for Kayshon Boutte to run right underneath and score his first NFL touchdown. It's a great throw. I think this one sinks right into the breadbasket for Kayshon Boutte, and he just made an explosive play, which this offense has been lacking all season long. I think Bo Nix is a great example of someone that's getting more and more comfortable using his legs at this level. Sometimes you just need to rely on your physical ability and go back to backyard football rules, and it's okay to do so. Right as this ball is snapped, you'll see Drake Maye snap his head towards the left. He's got nada. Looks to the right. He's also got nada. He knows the pocket's closing in, so he escapes to his right, and Hunter Henry did a great job sinking and losing his defender, and then Drake Maye crossbody just rifles it to his open guy, and there was no risk involved in this play. Drake Maye is capable of extending plays with his legs, and he needs to be more comfortable doing so, and I think a play like this opens up the belief of Drake Maye that he can do this even in the NFL. This is a beautiful 4th and 5 scenario from Drake Maye really late in this game that shows a little bit of fight in the kid, and again displays some of that backyard football ability. Once he drops back, he gets to his first 2 reads, and neither of which are open or available targets, so Drake, trusting his mobility, gets up, makes a defender miss, and meets the line to gain for the first down. Again, it shows some fight and some of that don't quit attitude that this team could use. There's a correct way to play quarterback according to individual coaches, and each coach may have a different idea of what perfect quarterback play would look like, but there are basics, essentials, and just necessities to playing well at quarterback. This is something that was in question about Drake Maye as a prospect at North Carolina. So later in this game, once Drake Maye started to catch a groove and maybe feels a little bit more comfortable, he showed the ability to just put in a textbook quarterback rep. You'll see Drake Maye step back, and when he takes his first hitch, he gets the ball out with anticipation to Jalen Polk on a curl route before he's even out of his break, and he puts it on the money after Polk makes that separation coming out of that break, but it has ended up as a drop for Polk, which sucks, but we're looking at Drake Maye here, and this was to me a very, very good rep and a very good sign. Drake also showed the ability to process a little bit. When he steps back and looks at his left side, he read that defense well, and his concept over there was not going to get open. So he progresses across to the right side where Kendrick Bourne's running into coverage, and Hunter Henry, who's taking Henry To'oTo'o upfield on a longer developing route, clears out his check down, Antonio Gibson underneath, and he just takes the smart play, makes the smart throw, and checks it down. It is a little bit of a high ball, but I'm happy to see some poise here and the ability not to just wreak havoc in your own mind or speed up your process. Listen, I hate being a critic after a rookie's first game, but you know, what type of person would I be if I wasn't negative? Drake threw a pair of interceptions, one of which was one of the best catches I've seen from a defensive back. And yes, it's still technically Drake Maye's fault for getting that ball tipped, but man, what a catch by that DB. Drake still put the ball in harm's way, which was highly expected for me at least. And again, I don't care that he did, but here it is as a part of the video. Against this blitz look on defense, Drake Maye straight off the snap looks to throw it short, but once he settles in the very nice pocket that was made for him, he actually progressed upfield. He waited for Pop Douglas to get out of his break and then ripped the ball to Pop Douglas. And for whatever reason, this ball just ends up sailing over his head and landing right into Kalen Bullock's arms. But just a crazy miss early in this game that, in my opinion, he rebounded nicely from. There was also a forced fumble in this game that Drake gave up. Drake Maye, right off the snap, again looks straight to his first read and then ditches it before he could have seen this get open. With Jalen Petrie playing in the flat and Derek Stingley playing outside, Kendrick Bourne, although it's a window throw, would have been open, but instead Drake Maye progresses to his left side and had no time to get it out to any of his receivers on that side, and Danielle Hunter was able to close ground, and with Drake Maye's arm up, he was able to force the fumble. And there were similar plays where he either needs to throw the ball away or just be willing to check it down and live to die another day. I'm excited to watch this kid grow and progress with more time. I'm sure we'll still see some bad, and he may even have moments where we're questioning a lot about him, but that's just the Maye train. Either hop on or get off. I think he showed the ability to make NFL throws, and on this small sample size, I'm still impressed. I didn't have a lot of expectations, bad or good, when it came to Maye. I wasn't going to be surprised if he lit it up or if he even had a worse showing than he did. We'll see if the team continues to develop around him because there's a lot of youth, but more importantly, I hope he stays healthy behind the worst offensive line in football. Anyways, that'll be it for me. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed, go ahead and leave a like, go down, subscribe, go watch the past content on the channel. It'd help a lot and mean a lot, and I'll see you guys next time. Deuces.